So now you're ready to start your broadcast. Let's put it all together. Before beginning your broadcast, remember you're behind the curtain in the pre-broadcast subconference with only your staff. Attendees are on hold and they cannot hear you until you click that Start Broadcast button. Before you start your broadcast or screen sharing, you're going to notice an indicator at the top of the screen sharing panel with your screen sharing status. Don't worry, screen sharing is never going to start automatically on you. To begin screen sharing, either click the big play button in the screen sharing menu highlighted here, or if you click this drop down where it says show my screen, you do have additional options. Here you can choose which monitor to share if you've got multiple. The clean screen will give it a more professional feel, hiding the taskbar at the bottom as well as hiding any icons or background pictures. You can even share just a specific application under just a window. Now, say you start screen sharing before you begin the audio broadcast, you are going to see this prompt making sure you know your audio isn't live yet. It's going to ask if you do want to start the audio at that time. Now, depending on your intention, you can click the Start Broadcast button to begin audio with screen sharing, or you can choose Not Now or exit out right here, and you can share your screen without starting the audio broadcast. It might be helpful if you have an introductory slide open and visible to your attendees as you wait to begin speaking. Once you've started screen sharing, you're going to notice the prompt at the top of the screen sharing tab has updated to let you know you're now on air and showing your screen. That big play button, it's now a pause button. If you're planning on recording your webinar, you can click the Record on Start checkbox, and you may also start your recording manually at any time during the broadcast by clicking the Start Recording button highlighted here. When you're ready to officially start your webinar and for the attendees to hear you, press the Start Broadcast button. Recording will begin automatically if you've selected the option to record on start. Once the broadcast has started, you're not going to be able to return to that pre-broadcast screen room. When you're actively presenting and sharing your screen, you also have the ability to pause your screen share at any time. This allows you to freeze your presentation and what attendees see. For example, if I were to pause right now, everyone would continue to look at this slide. I can then bring up my email, fast forward through the PowerPoint. You'd have no idea what I was doing in the background. An example is maybe you want to show your attendees a web page as part of the webinar, so it makes it for a really seamless transition. Just remember to unpause once you're ready to resume screen sharing again. You can stop showing your screen completely. This will take the attendees back to view that waiting room screen. And you also have the ability to share control. You can give one of your webinar staff members keyboard and mouse control. Now remember, you can right-click on their name from the attendee list to do this, or you can use the buttons highlighted here. An example of when you might want to give someone keyboard and mouse control is maybe you have multiple presenters and they're sharing off of one PowerPoint, so you can give someone keyboard and mouse control while you're hosting the slides on your desktop, and they can click through their own slides. Same thing with Change Presenter. You can either right-click from the attendee list or use the Change Presenter button here to make someone else the presenter. You do have the ability to share your webcam during a session. Up to 6 webcams can be shared at a time, and only staff can share their webcams. So an attendee can't just randomly pop theirs on. They do have to be promoted to a panelist if they want to. It's real easy to share your webcam, and it can add a personal touch to your webinar. Simply click the Share My Webcam button highlighted here, and it's going to broadcast your webcam live. Chat feature is intended for you and your staff to send private messages to one another, or the organizer can use it to send a one-way message to the entire audience. Now keep in mind, attendees, they cannot use or see the chat feature. Instead, attendees should be directed to use the Questions tab to communicate with staff. I do want to point out, when you are chatting with somebody and you're an organizer, Make sure you realize the default is for the chat to go to the entire audience. So if you want to send a private chat or change the entire audience, make sure you click the drop down here and you can change it to organizers and panelists only, or you can individually select the staff member's name.